Hello, I'm the official name raider. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're going over Meowth and Persian along with its Alolan counterparts. Now, from just looking, I might switch the search tab from Persian to Meowth as well because of stuff like this, because Persian's an actual cat. And that kind of complicates things, so I might take a little bit of extra time to look through Meowth just to see if anything changes, but okay, so I forgot to say this during the intro of the video, but I'm going to say it now that I've finished the video. This will not be covering Galarian Meowth and Perrserker. This will be saved for its own episode later down the line. I named my Pokemon Cat. I guess we can at least acknowledge it, because we did with Scabbers and stuff in the past. I don't exactly think it's the best. I do think it stands out. I think maybe Crookshanks might work a little bit better for Purugly, but I'll at least acknowledge it as a nickname. I like Puss in Boots and Shrek. Puss in Boots is one of my favorites. I mean, I wouldn't use it, but again, I'll acknowledge it. I feel like Garfield's just kind of a very predictable one, so as a result, I'm not crazy about that. I do feel like the name Garfield is more associated with the cat than something like President Garfield or anyone else using that name, so that's at least a little bit more passable, but all the same, it still feels very obvious and not much time was put into it. I like the idea of copycat, but I think it would be more interesting if there was an actual cat Pokemon that tried to imitate someone else, or like something along those lines. I don't know, it's a very complicated thing to try and explain what I'm thinking, but I think that would be like an interesting idea for a new Pokemon entirely, opposed to just a nickname. What if you took that expression and made it literal, you know? Okay, yeah, it's only worth acknowledging. Meowmix is one I have written down. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it fits Purugly a little bit better. So I don't use Meowmix for Persian, but I think it's kind of a very basic nickname that just fits very well. Okay, I actually do kind of like when people make like clever wordplay things like this, where it's an actual name but it means something else, like huge ass. I always thought that was funny. So seeing Mike Hat, I was like, huh, I've never seen that before. So I don't even know if I would, I mean, as a nickname, I don't even know, but like, I like that just because I've never seen it before, and that's it. And I'm like, that's pretty clever. You know what? I'm fine with 9 lives too, because I've never seen it before, it fits the cat theme, and yeah. Okay, so that's the bottom of this page. I will try Meowth just to see. I normally don't do this because I don't feel it's necessary, and it would just take too long, but for this case, I'm going to because I know a few of them are throwaways. See, like, for instance, this wasn't even an option because, you know, Persian is kind of a complicated... Why would you... you know what? I was going to say, why would you name it PayPal, but at the same time, I'm like, money. So I guess that actually kind of works. Doesn't work so much for Persian, but, like, that's something, I guess. And I feel like I've seen Kit Kat before and asked what could it possibly fit, so that's, you know what, in a weird way it might work for Stonejourner since it kind of splits itself into multiple pieces. That's a stretch, but whatever. The rest of this, I don't really care. Honestly, the idea of naming any sort of cat, even in real life, Whiskers, has always been stupid to me, and I've always been grateful that my cats have never had dumb names. No animal I've ever had has had a dumb name, and I don't understand how people can do stuff like that. Sorry if your cat's name is Whiskers, you have bad taste in naming animals. Okay, yeah, it's been like 2 seconds and I'm already done. This right here was whatever. This whole 2-year-old came up with incredible nicknames. They're not incredible. It's a spam article. He named his Oddish plants and Caterpie potato, and it's not incredible. It's exactly what you would expect a 2-year-old to say. You don't need to oversell yourself. So yeah, there wasn't even anything worth checking there other than Nick Finder. So we're just gonna do Alolan Persian, and that'll be it. We'll end it there. I don't need to look up Alolan Meowth because typing Alola already, you know, signifies enough. Okay. So which one is it? right here. Holy crap, that was a very, very long one. And normally when I record these, it only takes like 30 minutes or less. I'm up to 45 now, and like, there wasn't anything good for Persian in there, but there was a lot of good other nicknames that I wrote down. But other words, we've reached the bottom of Alolan Persian. I don't think there was that much. This, yeah, let's finish up by looking at the spreadsheet. Now, I've seen it a few times, just any sort of reference to Team Rocket in itself. I understand, and I'm not going to say that is terrible, because that is Meowth's reputation and Persian's reputation, so it's like it fits. Like, I think anyone will get it as well, it's just, it's not one I would do, that's all. You know, what's funny about this is they're explaining what the word Felix means, when they're forgetting the very obvious thing of marketing known as Felix the Cat. How'd you not get that? Regardless, gender-based nickname, because Felix is more of a boy's name, but all the same. That's about it, though. Not much else. So, here are the ones I wrote down that I did like. Mostly was Meow Mix and 9 Lives. I feel like there was another one in there that I kind of forgot about. I was like, oh, that's a really good cat joke too, but I can't remember what it was. And then one I came up with myself, which again, all three of these you could apply to any cat Pokemon you want. It's fine if you want to throw it on Purugly as well, or Esper, or I don't know, maybe Purloin, Liepard? I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, but whatever. The other one I came up with myself was Hello Kitty, because there you go. And then the ones I personally use, and all of those ones mentioned, they don't really have any specifics as far as Alolan variants. None of them really did. You could interchange them between Kanto and Alola if you want. The ones I went with are Blowfold, after the notorious James Bond villain who's seen petting a Persian cat. I did a little bit of digging, and I don't think that cat actually has a name. From my understanding, the cat didn't even exist in the books. That was just something that they made up for the films. The cat's never called by name. One person told me it had a name and it had something super normal sounding, but I just like the idea of Blowfold better. And then to counteract that with its Alolan counterpart, I went with Dr. Evil, but Dr. Evil's cat actually has a name, and that's Bigglesworth. And I feel like that right there, Blowfold and Bigglesworth, just kind of works out pretty well, especially because Bigglesworth just, I feel like it matches its appearance and its goofiness a little bit better. So those are the ones I went with, and I think they pair up very nicely, and they work because they work together, and they work by themselves, and they're like a team and not a team, so that's my thing.